Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your man Ronan, better known as Ronan Agent 317. Want to send a special shout out to the Masculine Mercenaries, the Battle Mercenaries, 5150 Nation, Platinum Queens West, While You Mad on Radio, and all my people who are for progressive, all about that business, not looking to be these internet maggles and weenies that we see online. And you know the deal. Scan this for the code Ronan10 and be a part of the A-game lifestyle. And this is more than just a male herbal solution. This is where we talk about systems, order, structure, and the 10 life values, and getting back into being the best men that we can be possible, especially us black men. And today's video I'm going to entitle The Curse of Ephialtes. Now, many people who've seen the movie 300 know what the hell I'm talking about. But for those who haven't, I don't know what you've been doing for the past damn near decade. But here's the conversation. Ephialtes was the runt of the litter in the Spartan nation. He was deformed. He had like a big ass hump on his shoulder. It was to the point where he's disfigured, and dismissed the fact that he wasn't easy on the eyes. But, you know, just the fact he came out the way he was, and according to Spartan tradition and law, he was cast into, you know, this ravine where all the outcasts go. They were looking for warriors that they can sculpt and build and protect the nation and whatnot. Now, all the things, you know, most of Spartans have been said to do pertaining, we're going to stay focused on the story. So, in shame, his father or his mother, wanted to found him and basically had him, you know, raised him away from everybody until, you know, he matured. Meanwhile, you know, we had Xerxes, and that's a whole nother story, you know, starting shit with everybody, looking for world domination. And comes to find out, you know, they sent an emissary down there. And of course, you know, you seen what happened to the emissary. He got kicked in the hole, with the most infamous kick in movie history. And that led to, you know, the countries being at war. So while they're going to war, Ephialtes decides to stand up. He wants to represent his nation. And he wants to get out there, you know, like, yeah, man, you know, just like my father, I was a Spartan. Look, I wear the Spartan crimson. I got my sword and shield. Now, why am I bringing up Ephialtes? There's an individual who will be named from here on out Pino de Grassi. And he know who he is. He's probably listening. Now, just like Ephialtes, this individual seemed to be the runt. Now, not saying by genetically, per se. But, again, you know, just like in this case, he was a runt by choice. Now, granted, he had his faults. He believed he was smarter than everybody else, but he's not street smart. You know, he's socially awkward, and you know, he lacks common sense. Obviously, in talking to this dude, you're trying to talk sense to him. That's like trying to get a baby to push a boulder uphill. That's how bad it is. But in any case, like Ephialtes, well, unlike Ephialtes, he tried to lionize his disability of choice. See, he wants to call himself the king of the Negro nerds, and I'm putting that, you know, politely. Or he does this thing about educated lames, which is a double negative in my opinion. It's an oxymoron. Getting an education doesn't make you lame. Standing on that alone and lacking common sense and street sense, that's dangerous. But again, the similarities tend to favor Pino. And the thing is, like, just like Ephialtes, Pino would always try to get in panels. He'll get out here and just, like, you know, brandish he's out here, and yeah, he's out here cheering some of the generals who are out here making moves, you know, pushing things forward, standing out in the forefront. And when he presented himself to King Leonidas, he found out he wasn't up to snuff because of his limitations. But Leonidas let it be known he can still be used. He can still be useful. And because of the job that the leader of the Spartans, the king, put forward, and he felt he was above that, that's another part of disability, arrogance and hubris. He felt slighted. So he went, to the opposing camp. Now, why did I say that? Pino did some similar things. He's not able to laugh at himself. I tested that out. I knew he was weak. It was just a matter of time. And two, this is why I tell people cheap compliments are the prelude to heavy favors. What I mean by that is the thicker somebody lays a compliment onto you, there's going to be a heavy favor that comes with it. They're always trying to soften the blow before they present you some bullshit covered with frosting. You've been around those people that said like, hey, you're looking good in this and you're doing that and whatever. By the way, and then your bullshit senses start tingling like, the fuck do you want? And of course, on cue, they need some money for this, or they need a favor for this, or they want to misappropriate your resources for their self-serving means. That's what I mean by the whole thing. But getting back to the story, Pino and Ephialtes had a fetish for panties. Oh, see, because of them being short-sighted and self-serving and thinking about themselves and figure they're entitled to things, what they forgot is they allowed their foresight to become atrophied, right? So they weren't able to see the big picture. And Xerxes saw this in Ephialtes, so he gave him what he wanted with a heavy fee. Again, cheap compliments are the prelude to heavy fees or favors. So Xerxes promised Ephialtes / Pino women, recognition, a title. Now with Pino, because he felt slighted, because he's on his little bullshit campaign of finding a virgin, looking to corrupt somebody and create a whole fucked up generation. God knows why. Now he's on a campaign running around here slandering the very people or the asses he was licking, figuratively, in a way. So again, this is these two individuals are bound by their words not being worth a damn. They wouldn't stand on anything. And because of their pride and their arrogance, they're easily influenced. And there's more individuals like Pino. But I'm going to continue. So, it was an easy sale for Ephialtes. And, he had women, and he had a little wizard crown, and he had a false position. But see, with the lack of foresight, he wasn't paying attention how disfigured and ugly these women were. And going on Pino is very similar, because you have a lot of these thought herders, or these guys who try to be rest haven for backwards hoes, trying to reform their dysfunction, or at least the ones they're fucking. So, with a Pino, he went on about his whole situation where, he had a relationship where he was basically trying to be over demanding, and basically she played his ass as intended. But that's something else. But again, with the story, Ephialtes wasn't able to see the ugliness sat before him. Now granted, with Pino, it wasn't on the surface as it was internal, which again goes to the 10 life values. If your spirit is fucked up, any and everything else is out of whack. But we'll continue. So later on, given this renewed sense of purpose, allegedly, a false purpose at that, and feeling that he was fueled by pettiness and looking to get revenge on the people who would not allow him to stand in their ranks. Because again, because of his disabilities, and with Pino was by choice. Pino was not able to hold his shield, or at least hold his convictions. You need something solid to hold up to. That's why you have brotherhood, checks and balances. Pino. Now with Ephialtes, he could throw that spear. He was on point with it, and like even impressed the king. But defense. And this is why I talk about you tender dicks. If you don't stand on anything, you're a chink in the armor. And with the Spartans, with the phalanx being one of their main defensive tactics, if there's one who was weak, the whole phalanx was shattered, as King Leonidas said, and showed him why. But again, the lack of foresight, you're driven by arrogance and ignorance. You ignore the warning. So, back to Ephialtes, and he hobbled his way out to the battlefield. He knew the pass and everything out, trying to, basically go backdoor the guys that told him about his place. Now, eventually, King Leonidas and Ephialtes saw each other again. Now, before Leonidas' last words, it was basically a curse. It's, I hope you live forever. Now, what that means is, like, you don't deserve to die with honor. So you need to live with your failure and your cowardice and your bitch assness. Now, the reason I say that is because there's individuals online who are stricken with the curse of Ephialtes because they can't get in with certain people, because they're not genuine people. They're driven by these nonsensical ideas. They don't stand for anything. And then wherever the wind blows or anything to get revenge on people who felt they're entitled to have access to, and don't understand that sometimes rejection is protection. That lack of foresight. They walk into situations blinded, which is outright dangerous. This is why, brothers, I'm saying in general, if you have individuals who act like Ephialtes or Pino de Grassi, you need to watch them. Because you can't share everything with them. They don't have privy to certain conversations or even access points. Because they, in turn, if you give them the opportunity, they will leave the wolves into the camp. As what Pino is doing at this day. He's not going to be successful at it because he don't know shit. But that just serves as a warning. You need to be mindful of these internet weenies who are tender dick Templars, Wi-Fi winos, dudes who are easily dissuaded by any and everything because of their feelings. That's why emotional intelligence is key. You gotta know when to process certain things, how to express certain things. Respect above all else, but mainly to yourself. Both Ephialtes and Pino never respected themselves, nor the people they were trying to hang up onto. No one respects an aimless tag-along. And they forgot about the fact that you have to learn how to follow in order to lead. And another thing is, everyone was not meant to lead from the front. To shout out to sleep, say sleep. Find your lane and stay in it. Be the man you're meant to be. If you're a solid ass dude that has a gift in one area, you're useful. You can apply that and help brothers in your way. But do adhere to the principles and the standards where forward-thinking brothers are looking to set the goal. Set the direction. Never abort the mission, Boogie. You got to be about that. Everyone, it wasn't meant to be a general. Everyone wasn't meant to sit there and have the rally flag or whatnot. Some guys could be a scribe or whatever. But if your gift is beneficial to the collective, it can be used in the right way where everybody benefits. That's what the brotherhood is. We rise as a collective. That way we change everything as kinetic. Now when you start becoming selfish, that's when you become the wrench in the machines. That's what I'm talking about. So the Pino de Grassis and all you internet weenies out there, I'm encouraging other brothers to watch out for you bastards. Because not only do you dishonor yourselves, anybody that rolls with you dishonors themselves and what they believe they stand for. So, in closing, never allow your comfort zone to become your coffin. And again, cheap compliments are the prelude to heavy favors. Mind the store, mind your money, and mind your peace of mind.